Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Alex's Adventures, and in this episode of Alex's Adventures we'll be taking on an adventure checking out Columbia Center Mall here in Kennewick, Washington. That is right, in this episode of Alex's Adventures we'll be taking on an adventure checking out the Columbia Center Mall and see what this mall has to offer. So here we are. This is one of the many entrances to the Columbia Center Mall. Let's go ahead and see what we have inside this mall. I'll be talking about a brief history about this mall. This mall, the Columbia Center Mall, is located in the heart of the Tri-Cities region. Columbia Center has been a premier shopping destination in southeastern Washington for more than 55 years. Here's the map, the layout of the mall. Here you have a Dick's, Barnes & Noble, a Macy's, the food court, and a J.C.'s Penney. So this mall began as a regional shopping center in 1969. Which has evolved into one of the most important retail and entertainment hubs in the Pacific Northwest. Today it serves shoppers from Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, and communities across eastern Washington and northeastern Oregon. So here's the aesthetics of this mall. It is planned to be renovated with modern aesthetics that you see in other malls that has been modernized. This mall underwent another transformation in 1997. New retailers such as Barnes & Noble and Old Navy arrived, and the movie theater was renovated into a 8-screen Regal cinema complex. These additions reflected the changing roles of malls, which were becoming entertainment destination as much as shopping centers. So for many residents, Columbia Center was more than a shopping mall. It was where teenagers hung out after school, families spent weekends, and shoppers gathered during the holidays. Longtime residents remember stores such as Walden Books, Sam Goody, Woolworth, Arcades, Orange Julius, and the original food court experiences that defined the mall culture in the 1980s and 1990s. And this mall, looking around the interior and the aesthetics, this mall was kept back in the 1990s. If you're watching this in the 2020s, so like malls across America, Columbia Center faced challenges as online shopping grew and major department store chains struggled. The closure of Sears in 2019 marked the end of an era. However, unlike many regional malls that declined, Columbia Center continued adapting by attracting new retailers and repurposing former anchor spaces. So the one example was the replacement of the former movie theater site with a Dick's Sporting Goods, which opened in 2019. So here we are at the food court. As we look around, here are several stores, a GameStop, a Joann's, and really I really like the aesthetics, how it's from my generation of time, like the 90s, and it still is and it's still being kept like this before the renovations that will happen. And yeah, so here's the directory where we're at the center at the food court, and here we have an Auntie Anne. So being able to capture all the aesthetics in the interior of what this mall looks like right now before the renovation is a huge opportunity to preserve what this mall has looked like before the renovation. So here are the establishments inside the food court. Here we have a Sparrow, one of those kebab grill house, and a Panda Express. Really like the signage of the Panda Express. Still has that neon signage effect. Pretty huge in the 90s. And here we have several stores. So let's talk about the future, a major revitalization. In 2025, the mall began its most significant modernization efforts in the decades. The first phase was introducing new flooring, brighter interiors, updated design elements, and a completely new children's play area. There are additional improvements scheduled through 2026, which includes a renovated food court, new seating areas, and a modernized restrooms. The goal is to attract new retailers while enhancing the visitor experience for future generations. So more than half a century after opening, Columbia Center remains a cornerstone of the Tri-Cities community. While the retail world has changed dramatically since 1969, the mall continues to reinvent itself, blending nostalgia with modernization and ensuring that it remains a gathering place for shoppers, families, and visitors throughout the region. And so we are at this end of the mall where we have our Macy's, and so as you can see, as the recording of this video, you can see that how this mall hasn't gone any renovations until what we'll see in 2025 with the modern lighting and flooring. Going to miss the tiled floors and the aesthetics that really was pronounced, really highlights the eras in the 80s and the 90s. Here you have several kiosk stores and several retail stores that are typically common across malls across America, such as the Children's Place. And here we have a Champs Sports that sells shoes and other sporting goods. And here we are at this end, which is a J.C. Penney. And so like I mentioned before, I feel like it is important to create this type of content just to preserve of what malls or places in general look like in this certain time frame. And I'm glad that I was able to record the Columbia Center Mall as before it underwent a major renovation that we're about to see in 2026. And that is J.C. Penney. So my favorite piece here is this clock stuck with its time with this fountain. This is called Fountain of Youth. Toss our coins so kids can walk. And I really like this fountain since it's really stuck in its time. And I wonder if this fountain is going to continue to exist after the renovation. And I really like this clock. So that will do it from Kennewick, Washington. That is the Columbia Center Mall before the renovations. If you like this video, please give this video a super huge thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below on what you think about this mall. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure to come on other YouTube content that is on this channel. And thank you for watching Alex's Adventures. And I'll definitely see you on the next one.